I know this is going to be shocking to many frequent First Ring Daily listeners. We will be podcasting ish next week sometime. We don't really know what the schedule is yet because Paul is going to be on a big SkyTube going.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Monday's that big Windows whatever event. So we'll do something. It might be, well, I mean, to people, we don't do this show live. So, I mean, to most people, probably just be a normal schedule.
Like, we're going to try to do stuff, but it's kind of, the problem is going to become the time zone.
Yeah, logistics.
Paul's availability, my availability, and then we'll make it work.
Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be okay.
It'll meet somewhere in the middle, right? We should get some ARM stuff next week, right? That's build. We should. I bet. Yeah. Paul, I'm gonna take a risk here. I don't usually do this. I'm gonna take a risk. Okay. I'm gonna make a bet.
Yep.
I bet next week they talk about AI. I know it's bold. It's a bold assumption.
I was thinking it was going to be all security related because now everything's security, but maybe I missed did I not get the memo? I thought the memo was very explicit about security. My expectation is you're going to get some security nonsense slapped on at the end. Like it's going to be like this little complete afterthought. It's like, hey, we just sent out a memo. Shouldn't we do something about security?
Speaking of security, this has nothing to do with security. So this little tweet's making a huge round because it's hilarious. Okay. So this is from, I don't even know where this is from, some conference or whatever happening right now. I'm guessing a React conference, like the React framework.
Oh, that's funny that you say this. Go on.
So the recommended section in the start menu is apparently React Native. That's how they do that. And that's why it's slow as all hell.
Well, is that fair? I don't know. So here's the thing. That is a weird coincidence. I did not see that. But I was going through some newsfeed or something yesterday, and I saw it was an article about an April presentation at a React conference, right? And it led me down a rabbit hole. What I wanted to do was watch that presentation because it was a guy from Microsoft basically saying what I've been saying all along, which is, or not all along, but for the past several months or whatever, that all the new stuff at Microsoft is web-based, and very specifically, it's React Native, a lot of it. And as it turns out, you could just search this for yourself. Like there are Microsoft videos from October and September of last year, from March of last year, from October the year before. Like they've actually been talking about this for a long time. And I don't know about that specific example, but in this, the article that I read, I'd have to go look it up. I don't remember what it was. Whoever this guy was like, yeah, he goes, React Native was created by Facebook. Facebook Meta now maintains the mobile version of React Native. Do you know who maintains the desktop version of React Native, Brad? Can you guess?
Was it Microsoft?
Yeah, Microsoft controls it. And they're using it everywhere, like everywhere. So when we talk about like web technologies used by things like Loop or Teams or whatever, Windows, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Not always, right? But it's web-based, and React Native is, there will be, of course there'll be. We're coming up on build. There will probably be sessions next week. It might be worth looking at the session list. I mean, I just watched a Microsoft presentation about React Native, not from this week or last month, but from last year. And they were basically saying, yeah, like this is native code. Like it works great.
Well, that's a big vote of confidence for WinUI. I mean,
well, actually, see, that's interesting too, because in the sense that Microsoft, how do I say this, can't seem to settle on like a modern framework for app development on Windows because there isn't one and nobody wants to do this anyway. WinUI, like, this, I mean, it's like this freaky thing that kind of, it's not really attached to anything. Like, I don't know. You were just showing the start menu, but the file explorer in Windows 11 was originally done with like a WinUI 2 technology called XAML Islands, which was horrific. And it was so bad that the thinking was, we will inform the next version of XAML Islands because of our use of it. And then they said, no, we're just never going to do this again. They had to change it so much to make it work in File Explorer. They were like, we can't give this to the world. It's terrible. So then they went to WinUI 3, and that's the baloney you see now in the File Explorer, where you can't drag and drop to the file, to the address bar yet, although that's coming. They had to do the same thing, Brad. They had to contort it to make it work
I was
with
about
File
to say, they're going
Explorer.
to end up in the same spot.
And I think, I don't know, this is something I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me if there's something coming down the road that's I may or may not be called WinUI 4 or whatever, but I bet they move right on from this. They just can't seem to get anything right, you know? And this is what happens when you half-ass everything, I guess. Has anyone ever, I mean, think about it. Like, there's no such thing as like possibly Maui, although Maui is so limited, it's not a fair comparison, but there's no real easy way to create WinUI UIs. You know what I mean? Like modernizing an app with WinUI, like an existing app. I mean, God love you. Good luck. You know?
Can you imagine going to something from like WinForms to WinUI?
That might be this. There's a possible version of the future where you go from WPF to WinUI, like that WPF makes a comeback. I'm not kidding. Like, this could be a thing. We'll see. Maybe not WinForms, but WPF possibly. It doesn't matter. Who cares? No, who's going to make it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of brain thinking for a Friday morning.
I know. It's weird that you said the React Native thing. I just saved several articles to Pocket. I saved several videos to my watch later thing in YouTube. I'm traveling on Sunday, so I actually downloaded them to my iPad just in case I was in the mood on the plane to watch these videos. And the thing you just showed me, I hadn't even seen that. It had nothing to do with what just a random coincidence, but yeah. There's stuff like this going on in the Google side, by the way. We just said Google I/O, right? So, Flutter and Dart, people are concerned about it because there were layoffs there, but there were layoffs in a bunch of places. It wasn't really Flutter related. But then, they're basically doing WASM, like WebAssembly for web and desktop and actually mobile too. But they didn't talk about desktop at all. Like if you go look at the Flutter announcement, like Google, search the term desktop and see what comes up. It's like nothing. And I think they're going to move to web. It's basically just web. It's web. It's just different ways to get into the web. Like you could, as a .NET developer, use whatever frameworks and stuff, but the output, Blazor, I guess, will be web. You could, as a Flutter developer, use your language and your little, the little toolkit there, and the output will be web.
So you're saying the HTML class I took in high school was my greatest investment ever?
Yeah, maybe.